Welcome back to the after show, or welcome to the after show. Back or your first time, we're glad to have you here. I'm the Podfather Adam Copeland, and I'm joined by
Showtime!
Showtime. Thanks for being here again, Austin. This has been a lot of fun getting to do this weekly segment at the end of the podcast. I appreciate the feedback listeners have been giving. I think that's really cool. We obviously enjoy getting to chat and find time to talk about the sport, and tonight we get to wrap up the marketing yourself, I guess, segments that we've been doing.
Yep.
And with this week being Thanksgiving, I'll let you reveal what are we focusing on today.
There is no better week than now to focus on the importance of choosing your right brands and sponsors, aka the right plate on Thanksgiving morning. So, before we have all the fun with that, just to cover this, it is so important for all of us when we're reaching out to these companies to truly know and believe that they are who we want to work with. Okay, because it's not work for, it's work with. It's a partnership. We're marketing, we're representing their brand, and they're supporting us. But you can't just accept everybody. And there's all these ambassador programs out there. So signing up for them and doing them is one thing, but you can't be like this bad biker dude, for example, and then you're an ambassador for Circus Clown Golf. like, I know that's way drastic, but that's the point I'm trying to say is you can't, you have to stay, we talked about staying true to yourself and confidence and all that in previous segments. But it matters with who you choose to. I would also go on to say that you have to be with companies that got your back and truly support you. So choosing the right brand that, don't get me wrong, the ones that want to give you the most commissions, the ones that give you the most free stuff. Yeah, that's certainly a perk. But if you make a strong connection with one of the company's owners or founders, and you feel like you can grow together, that is so important. And I can't stress that enough. And I know everyone again sees my sponsors like, man, how does he keep up? I actually have a great relationship with all of them. We talk. Some of them I even talk about, my kids. I talk about Navy, but they talk about their kids. As everybody knows by now, a huge partnership with Ice Shaker. So Chris and I have had conversations, and it's just so cool. Hey man, I want, hey, we'd love to have you, Austin. Hey Chris, of course, I'd love to be a part of this. And then I'm like, plug in. I'm like, hey man, down the road we should do fling golf, the match, me and you versus another top fling golfer and any Gronkowski brother of your choosing. And he's like, oh my God, I love that. I love that so much. But right now I'm busy because I have 4 kids under the age of 5. And then that leads into just a dad conversation, right? And that's the type of relationship, though, that I have with all of them. Chris was just cool to use because everybody knows who he is. But that's the stuff, though, that is very important. Choosing the right brands that represent who you are, your personality, and your beliefs, but also choosing the right brands that have your back and your best interests so that you both can grow your brands together.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool opportunity right now. There's a lot of new golf companies, whether it's golf apparel, golf balls.
So many new ones.
There's, I don't know that there's a hugely steep runway to try to get in to try to make a splash and create a company for that. But I think choosing a company that's looking at fling golf as an opportunity to grow, say, hey, all right, this fits within the golf umbrella. We can do this. We know that the sport plays on golf courses. I think for younger brands that are looking to find another audience or a niche, what we offer with Fling Golf is definitely an opportunity, and it would be good to match up with a brand that sees it like that as well.
Oh, any company, and this is for everybody, everyone listening, everyone watching. if there is a company that expresses interest in fling golf, that is the company that you should try to make it work with. It is cool to have the bigger name ones, the bigger fish, if they're interested. And if you can get them, get them. But if someone says, I love what the sport is doing, what it represents, what you're doing, that is huge. And I'm if you can go that route, do it. If you can get the stuff from the big boys, quote unquote, do it. But you will be much happier, working with those companies that again, like I said, have your back, and essentially they're choosing you. You're choosing them, they're choosing you. But yeah, man, I agree. There's so many golf clothing companies right now. So the field is ours, guys. Guys and girls, like, go get them. Like, get the one you want, talk to them, and let's spread this thing.
Hey, and I think use each other as well. I was really pleased and honored when the podcast came out earlier this year. I'd made a mention about, hey, if you've got any sponsors that you want to connect with the podcast or with me, and happy to do that. Big shout out to Brooks Medford, who introduced me to a contact at Yada Golf.
Right.
They're looking to, one of the really cool things that they've got going, that Fling Golf has going, is accessibility, equality, and really, putting each other up and making sure that there's a lot of positivity with that. I was looking through their offerings, and they had some golf gloves. So when I had Jack on the podcast, I mentioned, or actually he might have mentioned it to me because he saw my Facebook announcement. He was like, hey, they've got the Shamrock golf glove. I was like, I would be happy to introduce you, right? So Brooks brings me in. I send Jack their way, and so now the three of us are with Yada.
Right, and I love that. I love that so much because it's one thing for all of us, for one of us to be sponsored by one company, but when they get multiple fling golfers under their umbrella, it just creates this whole pyramid of like you did. Brooks told you, you told Jack, Jack's telling people, and it's just going to keep on going. And there is nothing wrong for all of us to share like sponsors. If anybody out there loves Pins and Aces, loves Neven, loves Freestyle, my locals with Revelation, Waterfly, all of them, I will gladly do what I can to help you. It's not like, oh, Austin has those guys. Like, nah, no. There's plenty of seats at my table. Hey. So like, just let me know anything I can do on my end. But I love that, man. I think, and Yada's a good one too. So I'll give them a little plug, a little shout out. But Pins and Aces, the premier polo national champion, Austin Showtime Ebersole.
I'll tell you what Pins and Aces has that Yada doesn't yet have, and I'm pushing them or asking them for this.
I'm pushing them.
Right? Like, I've got this massive control. Hey, I've got this whole
I'm
podcast.
Godfather. He's talking to me like the man.
Pins and Aces has a few kids polos.
They do.
So Yada's got some quarter zips and full zips that have just been announced and should be released if not already. Cool. They've got some great matching men's and women's polos.
Right.
If you're looking at these two crazies,
I was looking at them and I'm like, man, Sparkling Rainbow and the Fling Slayer might need a Showtime Pins and Aces polo for Christmas.
They might. They would. I'm sure the Showtime one, the ACGC one.
Yeah,
might be interested in, but
I might have to hook them up. Though, my heart still hurts a little bit hearing that Gwendolyn was, when I won the skills challenge back in Virginia, when she was like, he won again. And I
tell you, you got to get used to it. Sometimes you are going to be the top of the world for your daughter,
right.
And then other times it's going to be the sharpest cut.
Oh, I'm sure. Because I was like, up until I heard that, I was like, man, like, I love G. She's my girl. She's my biggest fan. And he won again. And I'm like, ah. And then Fling Slayer comes over and I give, it's like, all right, good. Well, I got Fling Slayer now. And then she looked at me and I'm like, okay, here's a ball for you too. I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a sucker.
You're still at the top. Yeah. She doesn't always have that crazy look. She's got compelling eyes like her mom.
Oh yeah. I told Kathy when I was visiting, my favorite thing about G was she's always sitting back watching and observing.
Hmm.
And then as soon as I go, hi, she gets all blushy and she's hi. And I'm like, girl, you can say hi, I'm just Austin, you know. And then but then you got Latham on the flip side who's like, Showtime. And I'm just like, yeah, these two are so funny. I love them so much. So you and Kath are very blessed. You guys got some great kids.
We are. I don't think that we'll leave who this was in reference to, but Latham will also come with a cut like that was not a good shot.
That's this that might be the saying of 2022, like how we're gonna close this chapter. Um, oh man, yeah, I definitely cannot wait till that person hears this and I'm like, hey, he was talking about you.
So, like we said, choose the right brand. Uh, reach out to other people if you were interested. Support each other, like we did. We have a fantastic community. Here in the Fling
Amazing
Golf
community. It's the best.
Lots to be thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
And as y'all know, both Showtime and myself are huge Thanksgiving fans, particularly Thanksgiving food. So let's say we've got a plate that's got space for 5 items,
Okay.
and then
All right.
you can put a piece of bread as a 6th, right?
I mean, honestly, I'm probably grabbing 2 plates, but I'll play what you're. I'll do what you're putting down.
We'll play the game with 5.
We'll play the game of 5. All
So
right.
what? We're not going to do a draft. We're not going to say you get one, I don't get the other.
No, we should totally do that though. That would be great.
It
You know
would be.
what? Maybe in one of our next week segments we'll have to do like the perfect Christmas gifts when you're a 10-year-old, and we'll do a draft.
Yeah, there we go. There we
All
go.
right,
That
cool,
sounds
cool.
fun.
Now, in regards to Thanksgiving, though, I'm going. Obviously, you have to have the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the mashed potatoes.
Oh, okay.
So you have to have the mashed potatoes.
All
Now,
right.
gravy doesn't count, so I'm drowning both.
Okay. What kind
Now,
of gravy? Is it brown gravy? Is it white gravy?
honestly,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. I'm actually pretty easy to please. That's what makes this funny that I'm being picky right now. Um, ooh, you know what? I lied. I just lied to everybody. Gravy on the mashed potatoes. I need cranberry everything on my turkey.
Okay.
Like slam that cranberry on the turkey. All
That's
right.
fine.
So that's 2 things. My favorite dish though that has to be included, and this is such I guess a man thing because I'm double potatoing here. But man, I need that sweet potato casserole.
Sweet potato
Like
casserole with the toasted marshmallows on top.
yes, you got to slap that on there. That is amazing. A little brown sugar as well.
So I've always given credit to the South for that.
Mhm.
And it's not limited to the South, obviously. I
Right,
grew up in Alabama, so those are my Southern credentials. But I
right.
would say Southerners know how to take a vegetable and make it a dessert.
Oh, dude. I know. There's actually a sweet potato pudding that I make. So it's called sweet potato pudding, but it's more like a cake, and it
Oh.
is amazing. And I can't even cook or bake, dude. I don't know how I pull it off, but it's totally amazing. So I have the turkey with the cranberry, the mashed potatoes with the gravy, the sweet potato casserole. Got to have the stuffing. Obviously, your filling, wherever you're from, however you call it.
Okay, so what so my first draft is dressing. It's a cornbread dressing.
Okay.
Cornbread with sage. What's stuffing for you? What?
Stuffing is like it's definitely a blend of like bread, celery, and kind of everything else put in it. Mind you, my butt's on the couch watching football, Podfather, so I don't actually know what the hell's in stuffing. So I'm
From
pulling this out of my butt here,
from
but
fork to mouth, it's tasting good, so
I'm
it
like,
doesn't matter.
man, that's some great stuffing or filling, and I don't know what it is. I think I just crunched a piece of celery. Oh, I saw a celery. So I'm not going to even pretend to act like I know, but I love it, and let's drown that with some gravy as well.
All right.
And the last thing on my dish, am I allowed to include a dessert or no?
Oh, we can do dessert separate, right?
Okay,
Like
okay.
there's in my grandmother's house, there was always a separate dessert table that had at least 10 options, right?
I love that.
So
Okay,
like,
all right. So
dessert gets its own plate
so
because
I'll
we're not
ask,
reusing the same plate.
yeah, right, yeah, right. So my fifth thing then, I guess it's pretty bland, but I like some sweet corn, so I'd probably go for some sweet corn.
Unbelievable.
I'm such a child though, so I'll definitely be putting it on my mashed potatoes with the gravy and mixing it together. If this was like a buffet, I'm sure if there was gummy bears around, I'd be,
Throw
totally
some of those on too.
being a child there with my mashed potatoes.
So
But that would be my five I would go with.
my
How about
brother
you?
was making KFC bowls before KFC came out with those bowls.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm so mad that I didn't create the Showtime bowls. Like I was doing it. I'm sure we all were. I'm sure we all were.
Right.
But how about you? What is your five? What's your plate?
So I was laughing a bit earlier when you mentioned corn because, again, lots of crossover. Turkey, obviously.
Right.
I will take, instead of gravy, white barbecue sauce to have with that turkey. I've got the cornbread dressing, which, again, you put a little bit of white barbecue sauce in that, a little bite of turkey. And
You're so from
you
the
might,
South.
I could. I love Thanksgiving lunch or dinner, but like Thanksgiving leftovers are even better because I can
It gets better. Like
right. Give me some bread, give me some dressing, give me some white barbecue sauce and turkey, and that may be the best sandwich of the year. See, I made it to two items, and I'm already thinking of leftovers.
Yeah, right. You're like, I don't even need. You know what, Austin? We're just gonna do two things on a plate.
All right, number 3, broccoli cheese casserole that my mom makes. That's so good. So
Honestly,
good.
that and corn. Like, and I just was thinking about what I already had since I already had the sweet potato casserole. I'm like, I don't want to double down on the casseroles, but that's a good choice.
So I will join you in the sweet potato casserole, sweet potato pie, whatever that is. Sweet potato casserole, which has for us the sweet potato, some crushed pecans, a little bit of marshmallow toasted on top. Right, you got a lot of savory stuff, so you need a little bit of sweetness, and then creamed corn. Typically, so when I was growing up, my mom's parents lived in the same town we did. They had a garden, which is probably more like I say a garden, like you had a little patch. Like they had, 10 long rows of corn that they grew. So
okay.
we would, they would have frozen corn, or they would freeze corn from their garden, thaw it at Thanksgiving, cream corn.
Let's go.
So good.
And it's homemade, so it was fire. Like, let's go. All right, that's
Fantastic.
a good plate. That's a good plate. And if it wasn't Thanksgiving, I'd be more than willing to like share our plates a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? We'll throw it away, and we're going back up for round 2. And honestly, I might just get your plate. You can have mine, and we're just
there we go. You know what? So on seconds, I would sometimes, I've gotten to the point where got to be careful. I can't get as larger portions as I used to.
Right.
But it also allows me to, on seconds, I can come back and try a few things I missed the first time. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a mashed potatoes the first time around guy.
It's very filling though, because like potatoes a filler. I just like, again, the KFC bowl. Like if I can put the turkey with the cranberry on the potatoes with the corn, like I almost wish, you know what, like going back, that's just one thing. I get 2 more things. So, but that's honestly what I would do. I just would be blending all of it together. Other than the casserole, I would let that ride out. But man, Thanksgiving's so awesome. So choosing the right plate is everything. But if you pace yourself, like you're saying, you can just do it all day, even though we're all punished by watching the damn Lions, at 12:30. So but you know what? It works out though, because we can eat and take a nap because we ain't going to miss an actual good football game.
Nope.
And then, we got the Vikings and Patriots so I will be watching. It's this, I'm hoping we win. We have never beat them when Brady was there. So it'd be nice to actually get them this time. So,
You're going to be sending some trash talk to Chris.
Yeah, I might have to be like, hey, Chris, what's Rob's number? I'm gonna have to talk a little smack. And then he'd probably be like, honestly, like Rob's got it covered, man.
Oh, hey, he's right here.
Yeah, he's right here, dude. Yeah, right. So though he did comment one time and say I could be the sixth Gronkowski brother. So
Oh, high
maybe
praise.
I'll see if they still have a seat for me on Thursday, and we'll see what I can
Awesome.
do.
Awesome. Well, a very happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Yes, man. You too. You
Thank you
guys
very
too.
much. And to everybody listening and watching, a happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Have a great one. And we will be back with the after show next week.
See you guys then. Happy Thanksgiving.